Hi, welcome to the Victor's Talk Show, where we share stories of strength, resilience, and victory. My name is Dami Precious, and today we have a very beautiful guest here with us. Hi, Timi.
Hello everyone, my name is Timilehin, known as Johnny of the Sickle Cell Warrior. I'm an educator working as an ESL tutor, also a community manager, a warrior, and also a sickle cell advocate.
Oh wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So I think I started following you on Instagram. I can't exactly remember when, but it's close to 2 years now.
Yes.
And I first found your handle that was the journey of the Sickle Cell Warrior before I got to know that your name is actually Timilehin. So like, can you take us back to the beginning of that journey? Like, what bettered the journey of the Sickle Cell Warrior?
Okay, that's actually a very long story, but I'm just going to cut to the chase and tell you guys a little bit about it. So I actually found out that I had sickle cell very late. I always knew when I was in primary school that I was this special child, to say the child that, use your drugs, use your medication, you can't do sports, you can't. And teachers were always like very gentle with me. But I didn't understand what exactly was going on. And to be honest, nobody actually communicated that to me. And it took me a while to fully understand that. I think I got to SS2 when a teacher that worked as a nurse was like, see your eyes, do you know what you have? I'm like, what do I have? And she was trying to ask more questions, and I just pretended like, I understand you, because she was seeing a lot of things. And we're in the classroom, like we're having English class, and everybody in the class were like curious to understand what exactly is happening with me. So during that period, they stopped me from dancing. I used to dance when I was in school. They stopped me from dancing, doing cultural dance, attending sports, and I think I actually like started eating my life along the line, because I'm like, why me? Why am I different from every other person? And when I grew and got into uni, I think 100 level, I had my first major crisis. I've always had crises. I didn't know what they were called, but I knew that, okay, I'll be in the hospital one period. I will not go to school for one period. But when I got to uni, I was like the only one, no longer with my parents. Mm-hmm. So it allowed me to feed my curiosity. I went to the health center. They're like, SS. I'm like, SS? That's a foreign concept. That was the first time I was hearing it. So I started reading about it. After 100 level, 200 level first semester, I got a very terrible crisis. That was the worst I've ever had in my life. And it took me a very long time to like come to terms with the reality that, okay, this is now my life. Yeah. And from there, I had like the worst crisis of my entire life so far. So I was sick for 2 years plus, constantly, straight. Like I was always in the hospital, like twice every month on admission, not just going for checkup, on admission. And you definitely like, you have to be curious about what exactly is happening to you. So anytime the doctors or the nurses come around and say something, I'm on my phone typing on Google, what exactly are they saying? What does this mean? And then I started reading up on this. During that period of time, I got depressed. I feel like that's the right word. And I was not so much on social media then. I was not on IG or Facebook. I didn't even know what sickle cell advocacy was, to be very honest. And I just knew that I felt alone and I felt empty. I had amazing friends. My family are very like great people also, and they were there for me all through. But it just felt like there was a gap, and they didn't fully understand what I was going through, the pain, having to like relate with me after it. And I knew that something was actually wrong. I felt like if I had someone who could talk to me during that period, my life would have been like much better. I would not have been so sad. And I decided to pick it up myself. I started writing. I used to write. I still write, but it's been a long time since I wrote. So I started writing, and then I met a particular friend of mine. I met him in the hospital. I met a lot of friends in the hospital. If you spend so much time in the hospital, you meet a lot of friends in the hospital, to be very honest. And he read one of my pieces, and the first piece that I posted, and he was like, this is great. You should post it. It was motivating me. Even though when I go back to read that piece, I'm like, this is not great. Though. This was rubbish. What did I write here? But that was the push I actually needed. And I started on WordPress. I started posting my articles, my write-up on WordPress. And I saw that people could actually relate. So people used to share my link to people, and I would see comments like, oh, thank you so much for writing this. I'm going through this. And I'm like, what? Okay, I'm not the only one. I actually understand. And then I had someone tell me, oh, the reason why she's going back to write her exams is because I wrote about my own struggle. Because I was constantly in the hospital, I failed exams, definitely. And if you're attending like a public uni, you know that they do not care about you.
Right.
They do not care about you at all. When they told my dean, it was like, she's the first person to fall sick.
Wow.
That time they brought a letter from the hospital I was attending, like the state hospital. And they're like, it doesn't care. This is not the first time I'm falling sick. That was the first time I failed an exam. I failed 5 papers at a go. I didn't show up for the exams. My doctors were like, I cannot discharge you. You're very sick. That was my first set of paper in 200 level. I failed that at a go. And I'm like, okay, no more first class, no more second class. Let's just see how it goes, basically. Yeah, we were begging the lecturers. They're like, whatever the dean says, they can't go against that. And that became my reality. Failing exams, not showing up for classes, being in the hospital constantly. You have nurses say trashy things at you. Sometimes nurses will be like, you're back to your hotel. And I'm like, God, this is an hospital. Why are you calling it an hotel? Do you think I'm comfortable being here? So it was a lot of struggle. And I realized that I actually needed to put my words out there to help other people. Since I felt alone, that just gave me the push to see that, okay, other people are going through this. People's comment oh, I'm also struggling with this. I've been constantly sick. I failed an exam also. Just made me realize that, okay, everybody actually needs someone in this journey and on this journey. And to me, it also felt like a breath of fresh air. I didn't know these people that I was talking to, but it felt like I was talking to people that could actually relate to my struggle. And that brought about the name Journey of a Sickle Cell Warrior, me sharing my journey, the pain, the struggles, the wins, because actually, they were actually wins. I graduated from school. That was a win, even though not really great I wanted, but that was a good win also. So me sharing my journey through the ride of dealing with sickle cell disease, the crisis and all that. That's what brought about Journey of Sickle Cell Warrior. And then I think a year after writing, I opened an Instagram page. Yeah, I think that was 2025. I think we were 4 years this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's how I started Journey of Sickle Cell Warrior, sharing my struggles, writing, and then posting videos that I now do. So that's basically it.
You're actually doing amazing work with
Thank you.
Sickle Cell Warrior, right? And in your story just now, you said got to know that you had sickle cell very late.
Yes.
I really cannot imagine that. And what would you say was the hardest moment of that journey for you? Because having to know that all your life you knew that you were the special child, right?
Yes.
You knew that, okay, there's something, but you really can't just pinpoint it. Then having to now living in a new reality, what was that hardest moment for you?
I feel like the hardest moment for me was having to realize that life actually goes on with or without me. Yeah, so because I stayed in the hospital a lot, sometimes I was in the hospital for 2 months straight. So I'll be back home recovering, and school is in progress. And then I come and I say my friends were amazing people once again, but I say that everybody actually gets to move on with their life. And then I had some funny people. You'll get funny friends along the journey that out of sight is out of mind totally. And then they'll be like, oh, I've been trying to call you. I'm like, I've been trying to call me for 2 months. You not say my number to call for 2 months, 3 months. There was a time I was out of school for 6 months. I had a complication with my femoral line. I had DVT, so I could not walk. DVT, my leg was swelling, blood clot, and all those things. Very, very sad moment. And it just made me realize that life actually goes on with or without you. And it took me a lot of time to come to terms with that. So when I come back to school, aside from missing on school activities, I realized that I've missed out on so many informations, on so many things that have gone. People have had events, they've had programs, and I'm hearing gists. I'm like, when did this one happen again? So that was the hardest moment, that life actually goes on with or without you. You might be in the hospital and everybody is living their best life yet. So it's just, it took me a while to know how to pick up my life back immediately. So I was always sulking in the hostel. When I get to the hostel, I'm sad because people are saying things that I can't relate to. I do not understand what is going on. And although they were pleasant, like my friends were pleasant, they were not saying it to make me feel sad. But that's just their own life. Like they would not stop their life because of me. So it took me a lot of time to realize that Timilehin, the world doesn't actually revolve around you. People will move on with their life. You also need to learn how to move on with your life very quick. So that was the most difficult part for me. And I think I've been struggling with that since when I was in secondary school, where everybody's going out for sports, they're dancing, and I'm not permitted to do that. Even there was a time they didn't want me to contest for the head girl position because they're like, it's too stressful for you. And I'm like, what? I had to call my mom. My mom had to call them, let her compete for. So I just learned it that. So now it's something that I've learned so much that I now know how to say no. Like, I'm tired. You guys can move on without me, and then it's totally fine. But it took me a lot of time to actually get here and see that, okay, although I'm missing out on things, but my health is actually my priority. And if I'm not okay, it's totally fine for me to not participate in other activities that people are doing. So that's it for me.
Wow. Like, having experienced all of this, I'd say for some sickle cell warriors, they'll just end up like, there is
nothing to me.
Nothing more to my life. There is nothing I can do because I had sickle cell. Because they are not permitting me to like just have fun and all of that. Then there's nothing that I can become in life. And this is going to just lead me to your status. When I say your status, I was not like exactly online, but I saw your status that I think it was that evening, and you were sounding so hungry.
I was actually very hungry. I know the status you're talking about.
I was sounding so hungry. I was like, yes, this person gets it. Like, this person gets it. Like when you were talking about the mindset of sickle cell warriors, how we have to think positively about sickle cell. Yes, sickle cell has done everything and all of that. With your story right now, a normal person would think, no, this person is not going to be thinking like there's something. So how were you able to like get to that point of, because in your story you said you were depressed.
Yeah.
So like, how were you able to get to that point where you were like, no, regardless of sickle cell,
I can do something.
There's still more.
I feel like one thing sickle cell made me realize was that I'm very strong. Like, I'm a strong woman. Don't tell me that as a compliment, though. I'll tell myself that, but I'm a strong woman. I feel like if you can come out from every crisis, like winning, you have so much strength in you. So much strength that you can do every other thing that you set your mind to. And picking up from me knowing that I'm actually strong with sickle cell, like, I had terrible crisis. Like, I was very sick. To be sick for almost 3 years, that's a whole lot. I had several complications, and every single time I kept on coming back and getting things done. And I feel like the breaking point for me was that I could actually graduate. That was the breaking point for me, because I wrote 6 semester exams from the hospital. Like, I'll go to, because they don't allow bringing exam papers to the hospital. So I go from the hospital to my exam hall. Sometimes I will faint after my exams, and I'll go back. I'll come back for afternoon paper again. So having to realize that, I could actually graduate. I could actually do this with all the issues that I had. Then I can do a whole lot more. And even though I've always wanted to be an educator, which is I basically teach in a physical classroom, and I've always had the restriction because everybody's like, it's so stressful, you can't do this. And when I studied English education at school, and when we had teaching practice, I realized that I could not actually do it. It's a lot of stress. I got very sick during those periods, but I enjoyed doing it. And I realized that, do I actually have to stop my life because sickle cell would not let me to do it? So that means if I'm going to not be an educator, I'm not going to do every other single thing that actually makes me happy, would I actually live a good life? That was the question that I had to ask myself. Sickle cell is already taking a whole lot from me. And if you allow it, it will steal your entire joy.
Yeah.
It will steal your joy. It will steal your happiness. Would I allow sickle cell to take more than what it can actually take from me? And that was the turning point for me. I realized that, okay, I can't do physical teaching. Let's look for a way around. And to me, God just brought like several opportunities my way during this period. And I realized that I could actually be an online educator. So I'm still doing what I love to do, but in not the conventional way that would not stress me. Yes. And then I had NYSC. NYSC is compulsory. You would teach now. I did NYSC and I thought, and I did it well. Although I felt sick during those periods, but I still did it. So I'm like, if I can do it for NYSC because it is compulsory and essential, why can't I do it to make my own self happy? And that was basically all that I needed to give me that push and say, I can become every single thing that I plan to become. And then I feel like we usually say that, oh, don't try to live up to expectations of people. But sometimes that expectation of people actually gives you the push that you need.
Yeah.
You're actually seeing people say, I graduated from school because of you. You went back to school. You would not want to stop your life because you're like, oh, there are people that are expecting something from me. And there are people that if I actually do make it well in life, they might just make it in life. There's a way that they say your destiny is connected to the destiny of every other person, like every other person that you get to meet. And that was it for me. I realized that there is so much in me that it's not just for me, actually for every other person that gets to be on this journey with me and gets to like decide to follow me through this journey. And that was just it for me. Like I can do every single thing that I plan to do. It will be stressful, I would not lie. Like there have been days that I'm like, did my daddy send me out of his house? My mom did not send me out of her house. Now there's rats at home. Why am I stressing? But it makes me happy. I'm living the life that I want to live. I want to get things done by myself and not. If you say you don't want to be a burden to other people, as much as that is not a good statement because you are never a burden to people, you should also try to do things that make you fulfilled. If not, you'll be sad when every other person is doing things that actually makes them happy. You just realize that you're living a life that has no meaning because it's just going to be from the sick bed to back home and you thinking. And one thing I learned in my own journey is that thinking does no good for me. The thinking does the way my life. Sometimes my friends are like, how do they say to you about, oh, neuron, like you don't have any thoughts? Because I'm like, that's happened. Okay, how do we move on from this? That is the next. Because I realized that when I used to think, I used to have terrible crisis and terrible panic attacks. I have asthma, so panic attacks with asthma, you do not want to try it. And then I studied a pattern. Whenever I'm worried about something, this is the reason why. This is what lands me into the hospital, panic attacks and asthma. And I realized that if I keep on thinking about, well, my life could be this, why don't you put in an effort to actually make your life worth? I would rather do things and feel well doing it than not do anything at all. And I think that is the mindset every Sickle Cell Warrior should do it. Do it and have the crisis first. Then you think about it. Was it when I carried the camera, my hand was too heavy that made me fall sick? Yeah. You re-strategize, get a strap and not carry the camera for too long. That's basically how I do my life. Okay, I fell sick when doing this thing. How do I re-strategize? How do I position myself that I don't fall sick as much as before? And using that plan and that strategy and studying myself, what does my body allow? How much can I push my body? Has made me to be able to do so many things. I've worked as a community manager. I've done it 9 to 5. I'm teaching. I don't want to tell you how many jobs I'm actually doing right now. And now I just recently started a business because I can do every single thing that I want to do. And I will do it with or without sickle cell aligning, basically.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Super well done.
Thank you.
Super well done. Hey, Warrior, I know you're enjoying this conversation so much. Please do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And please don't forget to share this with a warrior as well. You never know how much hope one story can bring to another warrior. Let's continue this conversation. So Timi, what would you say to someone on a similar journey as you, like as journey of a sickle cell warrior?
This is actually very deep, but I think one thing I would say is that life would actually get better. Life will get better eventually. It might be difficult right now. I had a very difficult journey, and to be very honest, I didn't think that my life would be this good and be much better than it was. But life will actually get better. I think you have to keep pushing. Don't give up. Don't give up at all. You definitely hear a lot of people say things like, "Oh, you cannot do it. You don't have the energy to. You don't have the strength to. Just rest. Just keep resting and all that." But please don't give up. Don't give into the advice of just rest. Don't do anything. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep hoping. Keep praying. trust God. Honestly, I think I can't undermine how God's goodness has been in my entire journey. So I think it's actually quite important for you to like hold on to God's promises and hope. So trust God, ensure that you don't give up. Try your possible best to surround yourself with good people. I know that might be quite difficult, like to just say, "Oh, I'm surrounding myself with good people," but try your best to also be a good person to the good people around you. Yeah, and eventually you find your tribe. That's just it. You being a good person will just, it could be one or two people, but those people will be your tribe, and they will hold you through difficult seasons. So that's basically what I would like to say to you. Don't give up. Life will get better. You'll meet your tribe. You'll be happier. Your joy will be so full. And I just want you to keep hoping for the good days. It might not look like it. Even on the good days, it might still be difficult. And you're like, oh, why do I have to go through this again? It's a process where you have to accept. You have to accept that this is a process. This is a journey. And in the journey of life, even for people that are not warriors, they go through difficult seasons and difficult period. Ensure that in your difficult period or your difficult season, you stay hopeful and you hold on to the promises of God for your life. And you also hold on to what you know can keep you going. Hold on to, even if it's just a tiny thing, that you know that this is the reason why I want to keep going. Ensure that you have one thing, one reason for you to keep going, one reason for you to start, and one reason for you to never stop. That's basically all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Timi.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. So, hey warrior, you've heard that. You've heard what Timi said, and don't give up, literally. It gets better. And I believe that you've taken one or two from this conversation. If you know this resonates so much with you, please share with a sickle cell warrior like you. You never know who needs to hear one tiny bit out of Timi's story. I can't wait for us to have the next conversation. See you in the next episode. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.